Welcome to English Insight Podcast. Learn English through story and real growth. In today's video, you're not just going to learn English. You're going to discover one small habit that quietly separates people who stay stuck for years from people who suddenly start speaking fluently. This session is designed to improve your listening, expand your vocabulary, and more importantly, change how you approach English every single day. Whether you're a beginner or somewhere in between, put on your headphones, maybe open a notebook, and stay with me, because the habit you're about to hear is simple, uncomfortable, and incredibly powerful. Promise to the viewer. By the end of this session, you will have learned 10 plus natural English expressions, understood real stories from English learners around the world, and discovered a daily habit that can change how fast you improve, starting today. Ready? Let's begin. The problem nobody explains clearly. Let me start with a truth that might surprise you. Most people who fail at English are not lazy. They are not stupid. They are not bad learners. They simply repeat the wrong habits every day. They study more. They watch more videos. They memorize more words. Yet nothing changes. Why? Because fluency doesn't come from what you study. It comes from what you do repeatedly. And one habit, just one, makes the biggest difference of all. A real story from an ordinary learner. A learner from South Korea once shared something interesting. She studied English for nearly 10 years. Grammar books, school exams, online courses. She could understand movies with subtitles. She knew thousands of words. But when she moved abroad, she couldn't speak. Every sentence felt heavy. Every conversation felt stressful. One day, instead of studying more, she changed one habit. She started talking to herself in English every day. Not loudly, not perfectly. Just describing her thoughts, her day, her plans out loud. At first, it felt stupid, then uncomfortable, then natural. 3 months later, her speaking confidence exploded. Not because she learned new grammar, but because English stopped living only in her head. The habit, thinking out loud in English. Here it is. The habit that changes everything is thinking out loud in English. Not translating. Not memorizing. Not testing yourself. Speaking imperfectly, without pressure. When you think silently, your brain can hide. When you speak out loud, your brain must organize meaning. This is how fluency is built. Children talk before they speak correctly. Musicians play badly before they play beautifully. Language is no different. Why this habit feels uncomfortable, and why that's good. Most learners avoid this habit for one reason: discomfort. When you speak out loud, you hear your mistakes. You feel slow. You notice gaps. And the brain hates that feeling. But growth lives exactly there. A Brazilian learner once said, "I improved more in 6 months of speaking to myself than in 5 years of studying silently." Why? because silence feels safe, but safety doesn't build skill. What happens inside your brain? When you speak out loud, three powerful things happen. Your brain connects words faster. Your mouth learns rhythm and flow. Your fear slowly loses control. This habit trains automatic thinking, not perfect thinking. And fluency is automaticity. Another real example you should hear. A software engineer from Germany used this habit during daily walks. No phone. No music. Just English thoughts spoken softly. He talked about problems, ideas, life. 6 months later, colleagues noticed something strange. His English wasn't perfect, but it was confident, clear, and fast. Confidence changed how people reacted to him, and reaction changed opportunity. Why most people never do this? Because no teacher checks it. No exam rewards it. No app reminds you. But the most powerful habits are invisible. And this one rewires how English lives inside you. A question you should sit with. If this habit is so powerful, ask yourself honestly, why haven't you been doing it? Fear? Embarrassment? Feeling silly? Those feelings are normal, but they are also the gate. What comes next? In the next part of this video, we're going to explore how to use this habit correctly without burning out, how long it really takes to see results, and how to combine it with listening to double your progress. Stay with me, because one habit doesn't just change your English. It changes how you trust your voice. If you're still listening, that already tells me something important about you. You're not just interested in English. You're interested in change. Now let's take this habit from idea to action, because knowing it is powerful, but using it correctly is what transforms your English. How to practice this habit without feeling overwhelmed. Many learners make the same mistake when they discover something effective. They overdo it. They promise themselves, I'll speak English for 1 hour every day. And after 3 days, they stop. This habit works not because of intensity, but because of consistency. 5 minutes a day is enough. 10 minutes is powerful. Anything more is optional. The goal is not to impress yourself. The goal is to make English a daily presence. What you should talk about and why it matters. One learner from Turkey shared a simple structure that changed everything. He spoke about what he was doing, what he was thinking, what he planned to do next. That's it. No topics. No scripts. No pressure. Why does this work? Because your brain already knows the meaning. You're not inventing ideas. You're expressing them. This removes cognitive overload and trains fluency instead of frustration. Why mistakes accelerate progress? Let's be clear. If you are not making mistakes, you are not practicing correctly. Mistakes activate learning. Perfection delays it. A teacher in Spain noticed something interesting among her students. The ones who spoke freely, with mistakes, improve pronunciation faster than the quiet, correct ones. Why? Because sound needs repetition, not analysis. A powerful example from real life. A nurse from Poland worked night shifts. No classes. No teachers. She used this habit while preparing patients, cleaning equipment, walking between rooms. Soft English. Broken sentences. No shame. 1 year later, she passed a professional English interview she once believed was impossible. She didn't sound academic. She sounded human. And that was enough. How this habit changes listening, too. Here's a hidden benefit few people expect. Once you speak out loud regularly, listening becomes easier. Why? Because your brain starts predicting language. You hear patterns instead of noise. You recognize phrases instead of words. Speaking trains listening, and listening feeds speaking. This is how fluent systems work. The emotional shift that changes everything. Something subtle but powerful happens over time. You stop asking, "Is my English good enough?" and start asking, "Did I express this idea?" That shift creates confidence, and confidence changes behavior. Why this habit works at any level. Beginner? Speak simple. Intermediate? Expand ideas. Advanced? Refine flow. The habit grows with you. It doesn't expire. A final story to remember. A learner from Afghanistan once said something unforgettable. "I stopped waiting for English to become perfect in my head. I let it become real in my mouth." That decision changed his life. Your turn now. Let me ask you one final question. What would happen if English became a daily voice instead of a distant goal? That future begins with one habit. Not tomorrow. Not next week. Today. If this video helped you see English differently, subscribe to English Insight Podcast. We don't teach English as a subject. We build it as a skill, a voice, and a mindset. Leave a comment with just one word. Start and begin today. And if you know someone struggling silently with English, share this video. You might give them the habit that changes everything. I'll see you in the next episode.